farm out here on the water road, and then I also live part-time in town for I work at the Open Party. And I teach.
I'm not the only entertainer in the crowd.
Which property on it?
Aloha, everyone. I just started recording the Zoom part of our presentation. We have some speakers. I know some of you are chewing that are going to share a bit with us today. But I wrote this down that basically I'm an apologetic MC, and this has been a really crazy year because of the pandemic, as you know, and I popped in. I'm used to working globally on computer screens, so it's been a good fit for me. But I'm happy to relinquish this and share the wealth, and I'm excited about today's gathering, that we're all here together. What a beautiful thing. So let's see. All right, so this is what we're going to be covering. I'm going to just give a few acknowledgments and then pass this microphone over to Shane, and then we'll just go through the steps. We're fortunate to have our newly appointed Senator Linda Coynt with us today on Zoom, and she has expressed missing this food with us. So we're really excited that she's able to join us. And then Bill Sides is going to share about broadband. Scott's going to give us some updates of things going on in the community, including our website, hanamaui.com. That's been great this last year. And Dawn, you may have seen when you were signing in, we have a Bank of Hawaii survey. If you haven't filled that out, she'll be speaking to that. And we are trying to just take information through the end of the month. And yeah, and then we'll do elections and call it POW. So let's see, I'm admitting people as we go. So first I'd like to mahalo Dawn, Auntie Dawn.
Sorry.
I'm the founder of the Hana Business Council, 1994, I believe it was, the Hana Business Association, and also she's been opening our circles with blessings. I'm going to, where are you, Dawn? Oh, right here. I'm going to have her start. I'm going to pass the microphone to her first so we can do the same breathing with our online crowd. And then also, really mahalo to Holani Hana. They, the nonprofit that's part of SCN Francis's Kuleana here, has been our fiscal agent to help us these last few years to get Hana Maui started at hanamaui.com and just work with the Office of Economic Development to be able to get funding to do what we're trying to accomplish now, which is transition to a nonprofit and do more of service with helping entrepreneurs and workforce development in our community. And then, yay, yeah, thank you, Leslie and Francis and Holani. And Gary is the president of the Holani Hana board. And he has been sustaining and feeding us for so many of these events over the years. So let's give it up for Uncle Gary and the crew. All right. So this is our current board of directors, and really, without the backbone of people who have been doing business in this community for years, for decades, we wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't be able to create a new cultural strength and go through what we've been going through this last year. So I'm really excited for the direction that we've come and for those that have been holding space. So that includes myself, Robert Frost with Hana Gold Chocolate, and an aviator of the universe. Max Bose has stepped in this last year and helped us with his background in both accounting and law. Don Lono, we all know, working with Shane in the county and flowers and beauty and aloha. And same with Eileen, who has been a strong force for working towards us getting a bike path in the community. She'll continue to help with that project as a strong member. Froyam, who's a farmer in our community and has worked in real estate. Gary Chow, of course. Jerry Grigory, who has been around here taking pictures of everyone. Marnie Ina isn't here today, but the hotel, she has been the manager there, and they've always been strong supporters of the Business Council and will continue to be. And Randy Orozco is not able to be here today, but he's a volunteer of HANA of note as well, and handyman extraordinaire. And then Susie Poo as well, who has been on the board in the past and other leadership with the HANA Business Council and is working her butt off with hospitality. So thank you, everybody. And then we have two visitors today. If you haven't met them, sitting over here, Linda Pupolo and Kaeo Patrick Ornelas from the Office of Economic Development. Working with assisting us with funding and have grant opportunities and information. I put their contact information up on the board along with Shane's and Senator DeCoit. So if you need to do outreach, that's available for you. And yeah, I think then I'm going to go ahead and pass this to Dawn, and we'll just ground and have some speakers.
Okay. Aloha. Aloha, Senator. Hi, Lynn.
Dawn, aloha.
Oh.
Technology.
So we have a tradition that we did before we ate, and for those of you who weren't able to join us at that point, we're going to do this again, and it's called Hanu Iloko, Hanu Iwaho. We're gonna breathe in, nourish ourselves, lift our spirits, clear our minds, and then breathe out and release anything that doesn't serve us. So with that, we're going to exercise this 3 times. So if you would join me in Hanu Iloko, Hanu Iwaho. Hanu Iloko, Hanu Iwaho. Hanu Iloko, Hanu Iwaho. Hanu Iloko, Hanu Iwaho. Mahalo, everyone, for joining me in that. And we are lucky to be here in this beautiful space and breathing this amazingly fresh air and out in this amazing breeze. And we send all of that energy to you guys as well as you join us in this meeting. So thank you so much.
Shane? Yeah.
And now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our East Maui Council representative, Shane Sinensi, who is also my boss. Thank you very much, Shane, for joining us.
Thank you, Dawn. And I'm not, I'll be in Kahului tomorrow, but I did wanted to recognize it's Dawn's birthday tomorrow. And that's why she's and aloha, everybody in virtual land. And mahalo to Heidi and HANA Business Council. I just wanted to provide some updates prior to introducing our special guest today. For the Ag Microgrant Program in fiscal year 2022, the council approved for the MEO another 1.5 million for the micro ag grant program. Grant applications will open sometime in mid to late September. Once program grant applications are available, MEO will issue a press release and send the application information to everyone. The grant criteria remains the same. Grant awards up to $25,000 to Maui County currently operating small farms, with priority given to Native Hawaiian-owned farms, women-owned farms, and farms 12 acres or less. Moving on July 23rd, our council meeting will also be recognizing August 1st to August 7th as Farmers Market Week. So please join us for that. And I believe that the 23rd is also Farmers Market Day. Okay, our office will also be introducing a bill regarding volunteer parking enforcement to be heard in a county council meeting on July 23rd. The purpose is to enhance the county's ability to enforce parking laws by expanding the volunteer disabled parking enforcement pilot program, but to also allow volunteers to enforce parking laws after proper training and protocols are in place. So just another layer of enforcement for illegal parking on the highway. The County Council is also launching a civic engagement video series. Maui County Kokua consists of 5 self-contained videos that can be viewed separately or in 20-minute compilation videos, which are available on the Maui County Council's website or on YouTube. The videos cover a variety of topics that focus on getting to know your Maui County Council, understanding how laws are made, reading an agenda, giving testimony, staying informed and involved in the process. Videos have answers to common asked questions, including how to sign up for meeting agendas and notifications and information about sunshine laws. Next week in the Agriculture and Public Trust Committee, we'll be receiving a presentation from the Mayor's Office on the updates of the purchase of the Wailuku water system. And as you know, the Commission on Water Resource Management has recently put out a ruling on some of the waters in the Wailuku district. So we'll also have on the July 27th meeting, we'll have CWARM also explaining those rulings, those new rulings. Also next week in the Climate Action Committee, we'll be hearing about the pesticide bill. The bill would limit the use of certain pesticides and fertilizers, not on private property, just on county property, which would include county parks and roadways. This proposed bill is also scheduled to be heard on the July 23rd County Council meeting. Okay, I got a little bit more. In September, I'll be hosting the next town hall on sustainable tourism through a cultural lens. In preparation of Councilmember King's Sustainable and Regenerative Tourism Summit that will be held on September 20th and 21st. And so we'll notify the community when the meeting is scheduled, probably the first or second week of September. And then our meeting yesterday with Mr. Blaine Miyasato of Hawaiian Airlines. We've had several calls about the video that Hawaiian Airlines was showing on their flights. So they've agreed to remove the video regarding Hana Highway. It'll take a couple weeks because I guess it's part of a contract with Panasonic. So, but they did receive lots of calls about just the additional traffic on the road, and they didn't want to continue to promote the highway on their flights. And with that, I know that Senator Dick Coit will be sharing some information about tonight's meeting that she has planned with our community. So we just wanted to introduce our newly Senator for District 7, Senator Decoit. So aloha and welcome.
Aloha. Aloha and thank you, Shane, for that introduction. Aloha to everybody. Oh my God, you guys' backdrop is unbelievable. I wish I was there breathing fresh air. I actually just landed. Thank you. Mwah, mwah. Thanks, you guys. In fact, I guess was in Hana last week, and then we made our rounds. Of course, we hit the school, brought in Randy Tanaka from facilities with us. And we wanted to take a look at some of the things that we've been trying to address for many years, as well as taking a look at the design and construction for the renovation of the culinary arts facilities. It was to replace a lot of that termite damage and meet with the Department of Health requirements and make the improvements. We put in about $880,000 to help with that, and also had the opportunity to talk with Principal Sanita on other areas. Of course, we know that high speed has been a huge problem and internet service for a lot of people, which is why I'm really happy that you folks have Hawaiian Telecom is going to be one of the carriers to actually issue within the next 5 years internet service to all our rural areas. Also wanted to share with you folks, I got the opportunity to stop by at Wainapanapa. With the traffic is heavy and population of tourism just inundating your areas, we've been meeting with the different departments as well as with MVB, HTA, DOT. And please, by all means, we are still taking questions for tonight. I'm hoping that we can have a lot of those questions answered by tonight. And of course, no question is a dumb question. Please, by all means, ask your questions so that way we can address a lot of the issues that we're going to address tonight at 4:30 to 5:30. Governor will be on with us as well as the Department of Transportation, HTA, Caroline, who is also out in the communities with HTA to address a lot of those issues. And County Council, of course, Councilman Senensi will be joining us along with Councilwoman Yukile Sugimura and Councilman Molina, as well as the mayor's office. By all means, like I said, ask away. So I did get to stop at Wainapanapa, met with the attendants at the front, and was happy to see that traffic and people are flowing smoothly. As you know, local residents are free and allowed to go in to Wainapanapa. I know it has taken off crazily with people still wanting to come in, and the two attendants having to deal with sometimes harsh words, but going forward, I believe that, we got to learn to manage that area while businesses alike, as well as residents, are trying to remain as Hana, as rural as possible. The businesses itself can also be allowed to, at some point, be able to jump onto the system and have management within there. I was shocked to see how much people actually was already in that area, but we know that there's tweaks that has to be made, and we by all means takes comments and recommendations and solutions along that way. So also, we put in some funding for Wainapanapa improvements on its ground site, as well as improvements with equipment. And of course, this was due to former Senator Kalani English in partnership with the both of us working to make sure funds would get into the area. The Hana Highway Bridge has also been a huge issue for us, and the construction and implementation of that bridge and preservation for plan for Hana Highway in the Hana Highway Preservation District to include bridge rehabilitation and or replacement. The project is deemed necessary to qualify for federal and financing and or reimbursement in the tune of $12.5 million. What else we had? Guardrail and shoulder improvements also to happen in fiscal year 2022. Design, construction, and installation and upgrading existing guardrails, end terminal transitions and bridge railings, bridge end posts and crash, and reconstructing and paving shoulders. I'd also like to share with you folks, upcoming construction will be happening along Hana Highway in the areas for Kianai and Wailua Nui in September and October. As many of you know, we were having much issues with the diversions of water. So part of fixing those areas in Kianai and Wailua Nui, we had Don Chang come out to those areas and meet with the communities to see what was the priorities. And they had met with many different people along the way in Janai, Wailua Nui, also in Haiku, to see what was the priorities. And it was Kenai and Wailua Nui that was more of a higher priority. Then part of the reservation system in Wainapanapa, it brought in just this past Sunday alone, $15,000. They're looking to be about 300 to 400,000 for the year going into the Department of Land and Natural Resources General Fund to also help with fixing Wainapanapa and maintaining the areas of conservation and areas of DLNR's properties. In regards to the Hana Highway and tonight's meeting, I wanted to add on, while the state and county and everybody has been working together, enforcement seems to have been a major problem. We know that with enforcement out there on the highways, as well as working with community and community leaders in those areas, we know that education was a huge issue. We'll be going over a lot of that tonight in the meeting, what measures we took so that we could educate tourists coming to Maui, coming to Hawaii in general, how some of the airlines is like, as Councilman Sinensi said earlier, it's not appropriate that we continue as airlines to promote those areas that have already been inundated with people. So I've asked them to also release PSAs educating them about coming into these areas. And I think Heidi's that's funny. I think we're having problems with technology right now, but wanted to add that on July 1st, HB 601 was also signed into law, and it would allow the chief of police to also appoint enforcement within Maui County. So we'll be going over a lot of that tonight, along with questions that you folks might have. And we did take a lot of your recommendations and solutions and added that within tonight's meeting, virtual town hall. And I just like to say, of course, I am so bummed that I'm not there in Hana right now, because I know you guys have one of the best places in the world to be at. And I'll leave it at that, because I know you folks have a agenda to get to, but feel free to contact our office anytime. Our number is 587-7225, or you can email us at senddecoit@capital.hawaii.gov. And I think Heidi put the contact up there. And please join us tonight from 4:30 to 5:30. Thank you and mahalo.
This is also posted on the whiteboard at the tent. Are you guys checked in? If you need it. And I will be posting this video on our website so people can watch it after. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, everybody.
All right. The next speaker that we have is Dawn again. Are you ready? Not Bill. Oh, you're right. Sorry, Bill.
No, you need more brownie.
Yeah. I'm not gonna get between Dawn and everybody. Dress for it. So we can do that. There you are.
I'm not good at this, but anyway, Dawn brought this to my attention the other day that a lot of people assume, at least I assume, have been in for a while, that people understand what broadband is. So I thought I would kind of like take time to clarify what it actually is for those who might be asked about it or whatever. Broadband basically is compared to, the simple way is to compare it to dial-up. In the dial-up, you had the phone, you call up somebody, or call up the internet on your computer, and we have to go through a wire with a narrow bandwidth. And everybody had to wait for the thing to get online and wait. Probably much of you haven't had to deal with that a little bit younger, but that's what used to happen with the dial-up system. The way they came to broadband was they started putting a cable, which brought a broader bandwidth so that you'd be able to get things faster. That's the difference. That's what broadband is. It's simply a way of connecting to the internet, internationally connected through a faster, broader signal.
Can you hold your microphone?
Oh, sorry about that. Does that help?
Yeah.
So anyway, current system that we have right now is not just cable. It goes from fiber optic cable up to Haleakala, then it goes a microwave down to a reflector antenna, and then over to a dish at the airport. Then it comes from fiber into 5 nodes around Hana area, and then from there it goes out wire to the houses, regular cable wire thing. And that system has 2 weaknesses. One is, the biggest one is the microwave dish. When the weather's bad, it slows things down. You're probably familiar with that in services. And the other one is the wire connection system corrodes and salt air. Now this new incoming system will be fiber optic all the way to the living room or your bedroom or your house, wherever in the house you would have. So there'll be fiber optic all the way. So there won't be any wire, there won't be any dish. And so you'll jump maybe from what they call megabytes per second speed of download or upload. Download being coming in and upload being going out. Right now we're getting about 70. I'm getting about exactly 20 to 100, depending upon the time of day and the connection. And I'm in a good location. Others probably getting a lot worse. Okay. People out in KNI who are on satellite, they're getting maybe 10 megabyte download of this, and they're paying a lot more money. So they're going to be happy to see this cable going in. But when the cable goes in, you'll be getting more like, depending upon what you want to do, you'll be getting 300 to 500 downloads and maybe 300 or so uploads. So you'll be a vast improvement over what you're getting now. And you can push this up to a megabyte. So anyway, it's going to be a lot faster. Now, what's happening is when you look at what's going on, you have to think of the
Hey, I'm real quick question. I'm on Zoom meeting, but I don't know how to turn my volume up on my iPad. I was trying to get Jamie. I was trying to get Jamie.
There should be a little toggle switch on the.
Okay, so you have to think of people coming in.
Okay, let's see.
Like a control road. Okay, so it's called a fiber optic backbone. So it means that everybody can use it. Anybody can buy on. Meaning like Verizon or Spectrum or the company that has it is Hawaii Telecom. They're the ones installing it. They'll be offering broadband service. But also anybody else can jump on that highway. They'll pay a fee, to access it. That'd be the school system, the health department, all of it. Okay. So that's what that is. It's a backbone service. So people ask me, well, what about 5G? Well, that's up to Verizon. That's not up to the cable. That's not up to Whitetail. If somebody buys, if Verizon chooses to buy on and they put up antennas all over the place with towers and put out 5G, that's between you and them. That doesn't have anything to do with what's happening now. Okay. And Spectrum will be buying on cable. So your regular television service, if you want to stay with it, it'll be a much faster, much more reliable. You'll be able to go online, get your uninterrupted television service is a lot better than you are now if you stay with Spectrum. You can go over to what they call over-the-top television, which is through broadband, and you can go that route. And they offer the same kind of programming like YouTube. YouTube will have all of this local news, the other states. They probably won't have like the school system. What do you call that? The school popular. They might not have some of those, but they will have like I think YouTube is the one only that has exactly the same PBS as we get here on cable. You know, PBS. So you can get the same kind of programming depending on how much you want to spend on it, on the broadband as well as or you can just stay with Spectrum. It's your choice. Okay. Whereas Spectrum has a box, and the box does recordings, and that's the only way you can save stuff. With broadband television, it saves it for you, so you can go right back to it. And it's not stored in the box; it's stored at the source because the speed is so fast that it just picks up where you left off in any movie you're watching. The only thing that doesn't hold or record are live things like sports events. So let's see. So the way this is all financed is through Connect America Fund. Okay, and then there's also another one that's Rural Digital Opportunity Fund. Those are the two that are financing it, and they are financing it through places that don't have broadband, which means like other than HANA, because we have broadband already. So their money is to service KNI, people Hulu, Calpo, and other areas around. It's not being financed to provide service to HANA. Okay? But since they're running that cable in, they're obviously going to do that. But there's 2 periods of time that they're going to be bringing service on. The first service is supposed to be happening this month because KNI is the one that would get the service, you know, being financed to get the service for it. They'll be the first ones to come online with it, and they'll be coming back towards HANA in that direction. But that service coming on this month will be through their own dishes, so it'll still have a microwave dish connection. So it'll be slow. It'll be like 25 megabyte download. It'll be slower than what you get right now, you know, going to Spectrum. Okay, so yeah, but it will be better than what KNI is getting now. It'll be cheaper and faster than what KNI is getting on satellite. So they'll be the ones signing up for it, and they have limited capacity with their dishes, so that they will not be able to supply everybody that might not have access to broadband right now. But they're going to start with KNI and work back. Okay, and then come November is when they will have their full cable coming in. There'll be fiber all the way to your house, to your office or whatever. And that will be coming online sometime near the end of the year in November. Now there isn't an impetus for them to complete all this work because right now they're supposed to have KNI hooked up already, and they've had trouble with their fiber optic dish, with their microwave dishes at the MOA, and so they've been slowed up and they're paying penalties on it. So being penalized every day for not having service, they're moving as fast as they can. All right. So let's see. Okay, and the other one that once this comes online, there's what they call an EBB fund, Emergency Broadband Benefit Fund. Okay, and that funding gives people of low income $100 towards the purchase of a computer, laptop, or tablet, and $50 a month towards broadband service. Okay, so pretty much you can get a computer and access to broadband free for those that qualify. And to qualify, you know, you have to have low income. You have to be on. You have to have your kids going to school on the lunch program. One way. You have to, if you're on Medicaid, you know, as another way, or your income level. So all that information is available. And I would just call Hawaiian Telecom and they will give you the information about how to sign up for it. Okay. Is there anything you want to add to that, Don?
Just that I've sent out that notice about the EBB program and how to sign up, and if you could pass it along to anybody you know that might qualify,
that would be really great because the program is only gonna last for a certain period of time and then the funds are gonna run out. So we need to jump on and get signed up and get everybody signed up we can get signed up to take advantage of it for as much time as we have to do that. So if anybody needs that information, you're welcome to give me a call or send me an email or to the HANA Business Council and we can message you the information. Thanks, Bill.
Yeah, the only other addition thing is that Elon Musk is putting up what they call Starlink, and it's a bunch of satellites. There's a lot of controversy about it. But anyway, if you're in an outlying area where you don't have access to broadband, it's going to replace the current satellite service. It'll be a lot less expensive and a lot faster speeds when it comes online, which should be within a year or so. Other than that, that's about it. So I won't open the questions if anybody's got questions.
So if you're off the highway, is it gonna come up our hill?
It depends. I haven't.
We have spectrum, but is this like the highway or?
I'm gonna put some handouts up here. Okay, one of them's on the EDD program. One of them's on the pricing for all of the different options you can get. Pricing varies from month to month depending upon what special they have. They always run specials. There's no set price. I'm sorry, there's no set price. So, but I'll have some handouts sitting up here.
Yeah, put them on the table.
I'll put them on the
Yeah.
table over there.
Yeah.
So I'll put them on the table over there, which will be the different benefit programs and then the cable where it's going to be running and the cost of the services. Okay, and you can go pick up whatever you like that you want to take home with you. And you asked, the way it's going to go is if you have a phone right now, they're going to try and hook up 95% of the phones to broadband service. So if you currently have a phone, part to the house.
Go through the phone system.
No, it'll be replaced. The phone, what will happen is they'll come out, they'll be going to your house, they'll be taking the cable off of the line coming through, they'll be running the fiber optic cable to your house, they'll be hooking it up, next to where your phone hookups right now. And they'll be replacing your phone line with that fiber optic cable. So if you buy broadband service from Hawaiian Tel, and they'll extend that into your house, that fiber optic cable into your house, and they'll hook up your phone and everything to it. Your phone, the landline phones, then will be an additional $12 a month to your broadband service. And your broadband service, I think, would run about, I have to look it up. So 75, I think, something like that.
It's not spectrum, it's
Hawaiian Tel. If you want to stay with Spectrum for television, you can, because they'll be buying on to the broadband, to the fiber optic cable too. But if you got a phone to your house, it doesn't necessarily mean that they'll extend it. Depends on the length. So you probably call them up and negotiate. And one more thing is, when it comes into your house, you got to think about it this way. They're changing out the whole service, right? So they're going to have to activate it. Okay, and there's generally a $29 or something activation fee. They're waiving that for businesses. You should also ask them to waive it for residential as well, because the activation fee is something they've got to do anyway. So if they got to activate over to your telephone and activate your they're changing the whole system over. So why would they charge us an activation fee? Well, like I was saying, call them on it. Call it when they ask for your service. Say, does this include an activation fee? If they said yeah, then say, well, why should I have to pay that if it's already got to hook it up anyway and activate? I think they'll go along with that.
Bill, can you let me know if HANA Business Council and HANA Community Association, if we can write letters to anyone? Let us know if you know who we might direct something to them.
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
that would
I've
be
got the
great.
names of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can pass the baton to Scott when you're ready.
All right. Anybody else got any questions?
Will they disable the current system, the microwave system, once this comes on? Will they both be operating?
Like I said, what will happen is, I was actually asking Dan Matsutumi, the engineer, this. I said, if Spectrum is going to buy on to Hawaiian Tel fiber, then what are they going to do with their dish? And usually they have what they call a loop. So they want to create a loop. So in other words, if they lose service from this end, they could bring it another direction. And so Hawaiian Tel is going to use their dishes down there as their loop. but they're not nearly as good as the Spectrum dishes. So I said, well, why don't you negotiate with Spectrum and use their dishes for your backup if they're going to buy onto your fiber? I haven't heard that from that. That's the story. Yeah.
I was told you have to run it through a large underground conduit. If that existing conduit you have for your phone line isn't big enough, you got to put in a bigger underground conduit to get it to your house.
I don't know if you already have it to your house. I don't know.
No, you have a small pipe for your telephone line. It's much bigger, they say, for the fiber optic. So you got to dig up.
You'd have to ask them about that because most people are directly to overhead. But I know I have been working with the Honda Gardens to bring some service down to there, and they really need it. And I met with the engineer there and all, and they're just going to lay a pipe on the ground and run it off because they're not carrying any electricity. They're just laying a pipe on the ground and just keep it down. Of course, they're not doing anything there either. You know what I'm saying? It's not the jungle. So, anybody else? Yeah. Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill. Hello, everybody. Yeah, Heidi just asked me to share a few updates about some projects, including the HanaMaui.com and the Farmers Market, and I'll share a little bit about Cocoa Radio too. So, HanaMaui.com is a website that is a project of the Hana Business Council that was launched about 1.5 years ago. And shortly after it was launched, then the pandemic hit and sort of pivoted the purpose of the website during the last year or so to really be sort of a central place of information regarding resources around pandemic and what was going on as far as business openings and all that kind of stuff. But now we're getting back to moving it back to the original purpose that it was intended for, which is a HANA business directory, calendar of events, and source for HANA news and information on the HANA Road and safety for visitors and residents. So right now there's the business directory has 70 active listings. The main categories are activities, agriculture, dining, lodging, nonprofit, public health and emergency services, services in general, and shopping. And then there's subcategories under some of those. So if any of you aren't listed on HanaMaui.com, make sure and go submit your directory listing, which is basically you get a premium listing that comes along with the HANA Business Council membership. That's, I think Heidi's probably going to talk about the membership. Free for another, you get a year of membership free today, right, to the end of this month. So sign up for that, take advantage of the listing on HanaMaui.com. We also, just regularly posting events, calendar of events for things that are happening in Hana Town. And then also news updates, since I maintain the Hana Community News email list, a lot of this stuff is coming across my email anyway, so I just posted on HanaMaui.com the events calendar and the news articles related to the road and, different things that are, anything that's relevant to Hana. And then we've also been updating we have a page on Drive with Aloha and the Maka'ala pages regarding the road etiquette and safety information. So keeping those updated. A little statistics, we have about 5,000 unique visitors per month to the site. That's good, but it could be a lot more. So, open to ideas about how to promote it and just get the word out. But one thing we'd like to do is ask any Business Council members who have your own website to make a link from your website back to HanaMaui.com if you don't already have that, so that the more in terms of search engine optimization, the more links are going to a site, the more it comes up higher in search engines and it's easier for people to find. And then that just helps your visitors or customers also learn more about the Hana, the news, events, and important information. So that's it as far as HanaMaui.com. Any questions on that? Anything I didn't cover? Moving on to the farmers market. The Hana Farmers Market is a project of the Hana chapter of the HFUU, Hawaii Farmers Union United. Robert is currently the president of our Hana chapter. And we have several of our other farmers here, Robert and Francine, and Sean and Froyam, and Rose and Dwayne, and Eileen and Don. So yeah, let's see. On next Friday, July 23rd, we're happy to welcome Mayor Victorino to come to hometown and come check out the farmers market in celebration of our 1-year anniversary of participating in the Farmers Produce Purchase Program, which is the county funding from the CARES Act originally that provides the money for the scripts that we distribute pretty much every week at the market. So we just really appreciate the support of the county for that program and for HFUU for facilitating it and making it happen. Over the last year, we have distributed, I'm not sure exactly what the current up-to-date number is, but over $180,000 of food. All has gone. All of that is money that goes directly into the pockets of the farmers who are producing the food, and the food goes directly into our community members, and especially because we have the kupuna shopping for the half hour at the beginning of the market, it's a lot of the kupunas who really get to take advantage of that program. So we've been really thankful for that, and we're happy to have also Vince Mina, the president of HFUU statewide, is going to be there along with the mayor to celebrate our participation in this program and really acknowledge them and thank them for supporting our community during this time with this program. Really just been such a benefit to the market, and to me is just such a perfect way to sort of inject stimulus into the food system at just the right place to create all the right incentives, and it's really been a great benefit to the market.
Thank you for all you do.
Yeah. It's a team effort. And, we have about 40 vendors who have participated in that program over the course of the last year, with an average of about 20 to 25 vendors for each market. A couple other little statistics. So far this year, in 2021, we processed about $27,800 in SNAP and EBT sales for our community. And then we've also done about over $22,000 in online market sales. So in case anybody's not aware, go to hanafarmersmarket.org. You can pre-order things to pick up at the market, and also order things from the other side for what things that our local farmers don't have available. We partner with Hana Ranch, thankfully, to be able to bring all the stuff in from the other side. So really thankful for working with Dwayne and his crew on that. We are also right now doing this program called Cow for Keiki, food box distributions for 6 weeks during the summer, serving 32 keiki per week with food boxes, mainly with produce from our local farmers, worth about $50 each. And then let's see, we just launched a new PSA on the radio station, read by Kiaka and Pumehana Burns, Pelikahi Burns, in both Olelo, Hawaii and Olelo, Pelikane. So that's really great. If you haven't heard it yet, check it out. It's especially on Fridays, it plays several times before the market. So really nice PSA. And just want to acknowledge, our community partners. It really is a huge team effort to make it happen. And that's, HFUU, the state organization, and the Hana chapter, Hana Maui Resort for the space, Hana Ranch Agriculture, County of Maui, Project Ho'omana, Hawaii Community Foundation, Hawaii Farmers Market Association, Hana Community Association, and Hana Business Council all take a part in making it a success for our community. So thank you to all of them, all of you. And as Shane mentioned, August 1st through 7th is National Farmers Market Week. So mahalo to Shane and Don for introducing a resolution to acknowledge that, and ceremony or resolution will be heard on the 23rd for the council. So anybody wants to jump on and support that. And then lastly, the HFU Johanna chapter is having our annual meeting on August 12th at Hana Farms at 4 o'clock. So encourage everybody to come participate in that too. We'll be electing a couple new board members and just talking about our plans going forward and hopefully getting back into more regular membership meetings. Before we used to do a lot of like farm tours, we'd alternate and go around to different farms who would host our meetings. So the farmers kind of learn about each other's places and host hands-on workshops and stuff like that. So hopefully we're going to be getting back into doing that kind of a thing again. So we'll be talking about that at the meeting as well. So yeah. Yeah. Locavore potluck. Okay, and then quick update too on, I just wanted to share a little bit about Cocoa Radio. For those who don't know, Hana has our own little radio station here, broadcasting at 96.3 FM. It goes from about Waianapa Dapa to Hamoa, more or less. And it's being broadcast out of the back of the old courthouse at the Hana Cultural Center. And it also streams worldwide at kokolp.org. It goes, there's a lot of different platforms that it's on, and there's a lot of different ways that you can listen, but there's an app called radio.garden, which it's on, and we get a lot of our listeners worldwide from that. It's a really cool app that like has a globe, and on the globe there's all these basically dots for radio stations, and you can just go tune into these radio stations all around the world. So a lot of people find us through that. And as a snapshot of our worldwide reach, according to our streaming statistics during the month of June, we had 32,930 unique listeners from 192 countries with a total of over 10,000 listening hours. So a lot of people around the world tuning into Little Hana, and we have over 2,400 vintage, classic, and modern Hawaiian music. It's just Hawaiian music 24 hours a day, commercial free. A lot of vintage music and classic and modern Hawaiian music, with also a regular rotation of Hana musicians and music about Hana and about East Maui. And we're open to PSAs from local nonprofit organizations, events, or and just involvement from anybody who's interested in promoting Hawaiian music and Hana's culture. So I think that's it for me on my update. So I'm gonna pass it on. Pass it on to Don.
Okay, I'm gonna make this really quick. I think when you all checked in, we pointed out to you the Bank of Hawaii survey that we put out. We're gonna be receiving survey information until the end of the month. Is that right, Heidi?
Yep.
Yeah, till the end of the month. So if you would like to pick up a physical copy, you're welcome to do that, or you can go online to hanabusinesscouncil.com and find the link. And please, it's only 7 questions. It's really easy, and we're trying to determine whether or not expanded services are needed from Bank of Hawaii in Hana, like possibly expanded hours, maybe a drop box for deposits, so you don't have to stand in line, notary, little things like that we kind of miss. So we're trying to get the information out, and then we can communicate with Bank of Hawaii about that. And then the mentorship program, really fast, we're trying to work with the school to maybe reignite the mentorship program that we had going years ago, where a student would, as part of their classes, would go and mentor with a business. And they would get class credits for it. And you would be able to share your mana'o and all of your skills, or some of your skills, with these students and pass it on to them. The program is not yet formulated, but we did bring it up with the school. So we wanted to find out who in the business community might be interested in participating. So if you are interested in participating, there is a sign-up sheet on the table. So please sign up. And then we'll have more information to bring to the school and let them know what's out there that can be offered to the students. And with that, I do want to say two things. Scott, where did he go? Scott is amazing. And he has just been such a benefit to this community in so many ways. And I just want to acknowledge him for all that he does. And then our president, Miss Heidi over here, has just taken the bull by the horns and really made things happen. And she's dedicated and she's detailed and she has really carried this ball down the road this year. So I gotta give her all the kudos for everything that's happened this year, pretty much has been on you. And we appreciate you. And just wanna thank you so much for everything. And with that, before I start crying, I'm gonna give it to Heidi.
Give it to Susie.
Oh, Susie.
Yep.
I'm running from the beginning here.
We'll let you. You've done this before. You
Oh,
got
I
this.
really haven't.
Well, make it up.
Okay, I'm going to assist with board elections.
Okay. We respectfully express our gratitude to those active members that have been serving on the board, but are continuing their are not continuing their terms at this time. Myself, Robert Frost, Barney Ina, Eileen Como. HBC slate of nominations, current board members up for re-election, Gary Chow and Heidi Lea. Do you want me to ask for nominees now?
Well, read the rest. This is a whole slate.
Okay. Additional nominees, member Chuck Thorne, Kaeliku Cavern, Hana Lavatu, member Claire Kamalu Carroll, Hana Community Association, member Jay Kahala Kupalik, Maliko Ao My Food Security Services, and member Poidava Tahiva, Poidava Orinui Polynesian Dance, Ukulele Art Classes and Shows.
Now, the floor.
Are there any other nominations from the floor? Or volunteers?
Come on. Does anyone else want to be now?
Nominations are closed?
So now the vote.
Okay,
Members
so.
elect the whole thing all together.
Okay, so do we have a show of hands to elect the nominees? Anyone opposed?
I don't know if I can, we can vote.
Okay, you're all elected by unanimous vote.
Yay. Thanks for your vote, everybody.
You're on the board now, right?
Yeah.
But she's got a baby here.
All right, so. Sorry.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Now we're basically our Zoom session. I think we've done really pretty well. It is exactly 1:30 and I said I would go for an hour, but just if there's any questions or if Kamalu or Kahala or Chuck, if you like to say anything, or Poirava, because you're kind of new. I know we also have new members that have joined us for the event today, but anyone that would like to share anything or has any questions, I'm Asha.
I just have a brief share. Can I hear here?
In the front.
Yeah, you
Okay,
come on up.
please. Just a quick share. Hi, everybody. I'm Asha.
Aloha. I just wanted to make sure that the community is aware about some classes that we have had in the past and are having in a very small group over in Alakakui Tuesdays at 10. It's for Kapuna and it's chair yoga. And that's it. And also you can do as little or as much as one feels available to. And maybe you know somebody else if you're not able to come yourself.
Where do they send it out?
Through Halehu Mama.
Hello. Thank you, Asha. All right. Does anyone, Claire, how's it going over in Oahu?
It's going great, and I'd like to say a few words. Thank you, everyone, for your support to be involved with our business council. That has always been an interest to me, and to support all of you within the District of Hana. And I'm very happy to be here. I apologize that I am not presently in a beautiful Hana, Maui, but I made it over to Oahu. But anyway, everyone have a beautiful day. Mahalo again.
Mahalo and thanks for helping. I'm definitely happy to share the wealth, especially some of the administrative stuff. And next board meeting will be talking about the board officer elections again. So we revisit that every year. Chuck?
Do we have live meetings from now on, or we have to keep with the Zoom crap?
So with the board consensus generally is exactly with you. So what we've decided to do is quarterly, just the board is meeting. We just had our last just board meeting Tuesday. But so it'll go August and September. We'll have Zoom meetings that will include the board, and all members can join. And then October will be us meeting, and we generally meet at the hotel. We've met in the boardroom before, so yeah. And then we have our so we kind of have biannual community meetings, and we'll look to we've thought a lot more. We're starting to think already about having much more representative from the businesses to show up, to have like a little fair of presentation of who our members are, and really do like a well, and we've typically done like raffles and some different things in the midwinter fair, but really to change the involvement in a different way in the future. So I think that's fun. Anything else? Anyone? All right. Well, so our next board meeting is the second Tuesday of each month at 4:30. It'll be via Zoom, the next one, and it's for board members. And I'll have the minutes ready and the treasurer's report and everything else. Okay, thank you very much. Dawn, can we breathe?
Okay, you guys got this down already, right? Okay, ready? Hano iloko. Hano ibaho. Hano iloko. Hano ibaho. Hano iloko. Hano ibaho. Aloha, ahuiho, malama pono. Sorry, meeting's closed.
What's your question for Dawn?
Is there an importance to bringing out?
In through your nose, out through your mouth. Sorry.
Well, if all that reading made you hungry, there's
There's more food.
And thank you so much, everyone online. I will be posting the video so that you, those that didn't get to watch it. Thank you.
That's good.
You're not done with your day yet.
I know.
Just I rewrote it so I